Lee Smith.
And Jane Johnston from Blood and Iron Martial Arts.
Here today to talk to you about our heavy kit. Basically, we talked about our heavy sparring kit. Last time we had our light sparring kit, and that'll be linked to the video up there. Jane. Yes.
That one.
And today we're talking about things, the kind of kit we require for when you're fencing longsword, you're fencing sword and buckler, like saber.
Yeah, basically anything that requires more heavy gear, that's what we're going to cover today. It's important to note that we don't differentiate much between protection level for synthetic and steel longsword. They can both cause a lot of damage, and we want to make sure people are safe. Last time with our light kit video, we did get a few questions, a few comments. We're going to address those at the end. I also have a special poem for one of our commenters, so you can expect that a little later on. Don't you make fun of my poem. It's darn good.
No, it's not.
Let's do it.
Okay, so now we're suited up in our heavy kit. As you'll notice, this time the overlay and back of the head protection for this is now mandatory. There's just no way around it. Sometimes people turn the back of their head, they get smacked with steel longsword. That can be disastrous.
Yeah, so the mandatory overlay is a thing. We both use the Spes Trinity protection. There's lots of other kinds though. There's the PBT, AF has one, some masks have it built in. The masks are pretty much the same as they are for the light kit. Just make sure you've got overlay if you're going to be doing longsword of any kind, synthetic or steel. Same thing with weapons like saber, sword, and buckler. Better to be safe.
Also, HEMA specific gorgets, things that are built for like this art, also mandatory.
Yeah, a lot of the gear between the light kit and the heavy kit is going to be the same. It's just a matter of it's more important now because there's more places that you can get hit. You're going to get hit a lot harder, and it sucks to get hit. So, roughneck gorgets, we both still have those. We like them so far. Doing good. Again, there is going to be a full review on that sometime soon. But the next thing is the jacket. We both wear the Spes jackets. We did a review video on the Superior Fencing ones not too long ago, so you can check that out if you want. But the options are Spes, Superior Fencing, Naaman has jackets now.
Yeah.
Absolute Force, I think, has jackets.
There's a few places that have jackets, but honestly, the Spes and Superior Fencing are my top picks.
Yeah.
Like, I like my Spes. I've had this for close to almost 5 years now. I mean, I've been wearing it for a long time, and it's excellent. Still holding up, still going. So.
Yeah, me too. We definitely recommend the custom sizing on the jackets. It's worth it to spring for the extra bit of money just to get a better fit and better movement for your own body.
Absolutely. That's best 20% extra I ever spent.
Yep. Underneath the jacket, I do have my chest protector on, and that's super important even with a jacket on because you still don't want to take those hard shots to the breasts. It's not a good day, even if some people say it's not necessary or recommended. I definitely would like to wear it, and I think that most women should because it's just a little bit safer.
Well, the physicians we talked to all recommended it, so I'll go with what they have to say. You can have your own opinions. That's really cool, but I'll go with what the people we've talked to in the medical industry have told us.
All right.
Most important things.
What?
Coveted Blood and Iron Fight Team patch. It's pretty awesome. And, turn around, coveted Blood and Iron back patches. I'm a big fan of back patches on jackets for all clubs. I like seeing people's colors when we're fighting. South Coast now does this. There's the Wisconsin guys now do that, head by Pinenberg. I mean, like, it looks really clear. It looks really clean and crisp when people are fencing. And I can't say enough about how important it is to see people's clubs fencing each other, especially in your final. It's just not black Spes jackets. And you're like, who's that? Who's fighting from where? And then now it's like you can see like different club colors, and it's awesome.
It is cool. And while we're on the topic of patches, Canada represent. I can't be that bad of a Canadian. I've got this on my jacket.
Oh, we almost forgot one last thing.
What?
Gloves.
Oh, we didn't forget. We just hadn't gotten there yet. But yeah, Spes Heavies. We did a video on these guys not too long ago too. This is kind of our standard now at Blood and Iron. You're going to get hurt a whole lot less than you will in other gloves wearing these. They move pretty well. We like them. You can hit people with them. Don't hit me in the face. Anyway, we talked about gloves a lot in our Spes Heavies video, so we're going to talk about the arms. What are you wearing?
I actually have a custom pair of leather arms that go over my jacket, and they work really well. I've had these probably since Swordfish 2011. They're still holding up. Just hardened, boiled arms. I got them from a professional leather worker here in Vancouver, and a lot of us wear them. They absorb the shots very well. So I've been happy with them for the last while. I don't perceive myself doing anything different.
Yeah, the big thing with the arms is even if you're wearing a jacket, you still want to have that hard joint protection, so having something over top of your elbow is important. I just wear my lacrosse arms over my jacket. I find they fit well. They give me a little bit of extra protection up into the tricep and on my forearm, so I like that. But really, anything that covers your elbow is going to be a good thing and pretty mandatory. You don't want your joints getting hit.
Yeah, most people even just wear the simple Spes cups. You see them in every tournament. Varney Mitchell has a company, Vargas Leather and Hides, is it? And I mean, he does a great job. And so most of our guys get their leather elbows from him now.
Yep. Okay, moving down to skirts. We talked about these last time. We both like the Spes skirts. I know there are some companies that make jackets that are longer to include the skirt. Superior Fencing makes skirts too. Lots of people do like fencing pants. Both of us kind of prefer this, but either way, it's nice to have something extra on the legs. I think this is the one piece of gear I would say isn't mandatory for longsword sparring.
But you really want it.
But it's nice to have that extra little bit on your thighs.
You really, really want it.
So, oh, and the cup, obviously, also mandatory here. So.
Yeah, you really don't want to fence longsword without a cup. Again, mandatory.
It's a bad day if you do. All right, and then we've got leg protection. These guys also the same as the other ones, but I would say that it would be better for longsword to have the catcher's ones or something longer.
Yeah, you want to go down to the shin, honestly.
Yeah, all the way down to the ankle even.
Yeah.
Because I've taken shots where there's this nice little gap in between. Not so much fun.
Yeah, make sure you have ankle protectors on as well underneath the catcher's things. They're pretty comfortable, and I can't stress how important it is to protect the ankle joint.
Totally. These are kind of bare minimum. It's way better to get more protection on all of your joints and bones. So.
And normally if you're fighting, you'll see us in our videos. I fight in bare feet, probably not so good. But in tournament, we recommend either the Vibram 5 Fingers or wrestling boots.
Yeah, well, we have mats. We're lucky that we've got our own space as a club and that we've got these beautiful mats. So we wear shoes that are low profile enough that they don't damage them. I like my Adidas wrestling booties. Lots of people like wearing Vibrams for tournaments. Some people do wear running shoes. Shoes aren't really a big deal. It's what you can move best in.
But if you're fighting in tournament, they're absolutely mandatory.
Yes. Yeah, you can't go barefoot in a tournament. That'd be bad.
That would be bad.
Or sock-footed.
Yeah, no sock foot either.
Wear shoes. Basically, it's a little bit safer.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so one of the things that we got was a bunch of people asking for recommendations on what cup to wear. I can't really speak to that, and I don't wear a women's cup. I didn't realize that was a thing. So Lee's going to tell you about men's cups.
So there's a variety of men's cups on the market. I wear like more of a hockey cup. It's pretty cheap, does the job. But Julian because he's so tall, tends to get hit in the nuts a lot in the cell. And when I mean a lot, I mean he'll probably be reviewing this cup because he gets hit there so often. And I'm much shorter than Julian, so I tend to do some of the hitting. So he uses the Nutty Buddy, and he swears by it. It's definitely taken pain from his nuts on a regular occasion, and so it's definitely his buddy.
I think Julian's had 2 cups. That was his second one, so he's batting a pretty high average with that cup right now. All right, so Lockwoods asked us a question about whether or not you could break a rib using a synthetic longsword without a fencing jacket. The answer is yes, you absolutely can, and that's why we recommend wearing a fencing jacket, whether you're doing synthetic or steel, because it is very possible to break a rib regardless. And we actually have a fight team member who broke a rib through a jacket, so better to be safe than sorry. A broken rib can take you out of training and even just life stuff for quite some time.
Yeah, it's happened in tournaments too.
If you're sparring with intensity or with proper body mechanics, you are going to need a jacket because that's the kind of thing that will cause damage to another person, which is no fun. Don't hurt your friends.
Fun story. 50
stitches.
50 Stitches Steel asks about Motocross Protectors. Well, funny story. Before the Spes jacket came out, I used to use a Motocross Protector because that was pretty much the best thing we had. In an unfortunate incident during a demonstration, my friend's steel sword broke across the shield of my sword, came down and went through my side. So, I mean, glanced off of a rib and went up my back, severing part of my anterior serratus. Not very fun. I've been going through some rehab lately on that, but, you know, a lot of people saw it, and yeah, that's why you should be wearing a Spes jacket, not motocross gear.
What do you think of it for light sparring, though?
For light sparring, it's okay, but at the same time, it's still dependent. If a guy is over armoring in his club, like he'll just take hit after hit, he doesn't obviously respect the weapon. So if you are wearing those kinds of things, well, you'll probably have to make rules up where the guy is, if he's doubling, you're going to want to have him doing push-ups or stuff like that.
If you're looking at chest protectors for women, I really like the Leon Paul one. Nicole and I are actually going to be doing a video to review some of those a little bit later on. So you can expect that. But the reason I like it, just in brief, is because it actually comes in your bra size. So it's super easy to fit for yourself. It's really comfortable. It stays on. So we definitely prefer the ones that are made specifically for HEMA when it comes to chest protection.
So this has been our review on what we consider our heavy kit for HEMA. I hope you guys found it really helpful. It's taken a while for us to really build off of these things, and I think that if more people were wearing the adequate protection, we'd see a lot less injuries in the art. We have very few injuries here, which is very nice. As a result, most people here are able to continue their training year-round.
Yeah, the heavy kit isn't cheap, but it is well worth having because you don't want to get hurt, you don't want anything to happen to you, because it'll not just knock you out of training, it'll knock you out of your life for a little bit, and we really want everybody to be safe more than anything.
Yeah, and I hear down in the US that, especially for American viewers, that your healthcare is definitely not cheap, and deductibles are definitely not cheap. So
proud to be Canadian. I'm not a terrible Canadian anymore. This has come full circle, sorry. All right, so last video, it came up that I wasn't very Canadian because I said I don't like hockey very much, and I didn't say sorry enough, I guess. So I wrote a poem at the request of one of our commenters. It's a haiku, which means there are 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. And here it is. It's called Sorry. I am so sorry. I am not sorry for your face. I'll be your Canuck.